When I first got into final expense sales, there were three things that I did that took my income from $60,000 a year to where I net over $250,000 in my very first calendar year as a final expense agent. And interesting enough, if you apply these three things to yourself and how you sell final expense insurance, the same can happen for you. And yes, a thumbs up would be appreciated, and we do suggest subscribing if you're new to the channel. We're putting out final expense sales training videos and insurance sales content like every week. Last week, an agent sent me an email, and not only did he have like 9 questions, a total laundry list, but he had been on my free leads page and watched the video where I mentioned how, we generate tons of exclusive leads and appointments at zero cost, to the agent, as long as they're a competent closer. He asked, what do I consider to be a competent closer? And of course, I didn't answer, but my first thought was, well, you just asked me all these questions and you even suggested that I should give you some kind of like success guarantee. And my only answer could be, if you have to ask what a competent closer is, then the answer is, it's definitely not going to be you. The reason that I bring this up is that you have to understand, once I became a professional salesman, which, means to me that I was a competent closer, that's when I implemented these 3 things that without them, I would have never seen the success that I had as a final expense agent. And guys, stick around to the end of the video. I'm gonna show you how to get both the agent evaluation page, which is used for getting really good referrals, and a copy of the telesales final expense presentation script that we offer on our channel. The first thing that I did, which to me was a total game changer, was I really concentrated on selling 2 to really 3 main final expense carriers and products. I did have about 8 different insurance carriers in the bag to work with, but I decided, that it was better for me to spend less time concentrating on giving everyone first day coverage and more time getting people approved by carriers that would, more likely approve them. What you might not realize is that when you apply to an insurance carrier for immediate coverage for a client who may be like, let's say they have a 50-50 shot of getting it approved for that level coverage policy, when they're offered something else, that gives the client this opportunity to completely back out and, do what they've probably been already doing for years, which is to not get the insurance and just keep procrastinating on the whole idea of it, or just totally blow it off altogether. During my first several years, I would not write a policy that I thought might not get approved as applied for. Like, I always had to feel really, really confident that, these folks, they're going to get approved. Or I would just sell them something else, that I did feel confident that would work for them and would draft correctly. I always believed in carriers that do true Social Security billing so we could, keep them on the books. The second thing that I did, and maybe I actually did this first now that I think about it, but either way, the one thing that I already knew had to happen for me to see the level of success that I expected was to be committed to like a lot of leads every single week. All fresh, all exclusive, 100%. And like for, final expense, it's just too easy to get exclusive leads, and they're really affordable too. So really, guys, throughout my final expense career, over an 8-year period as an active agent, I didn't go one single week, and I'm not exaggerating, not one single week without having fresh exclusive leads. Not one. And again, I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating an iota. Even when we went on vacation, I would come back and potentially have an extra week or even weeks, or a couple times there was like a couple of months worth of leads waiting for me. The last thing that I was going to accept was that I might not have new leads coming in, so I literally just never turned off the pipeline. Christmas, Thanksgiving, whether I was in town or working or not, it is better to have too many leads than not enough leads because, in my opinion, there's no such thing as too many leads. To me, this is the ultimate game-changing scenario that must be applied if you consider yourself a professional life insurance and or final expense agent, which really leads to the third thing that I did for like 8 solid years, while I sold final expense. I worked every single week running fresh leads, never taking unnecessary time off. Never. I worked the week of Christmas. I worked the week of Thanksgiving, 4th of July, etc. I worked all the other holidays too. Labor Day, fell on a Monday. I was in the field. No problem. That's not such a major holiday that's going to cost me. And you'd be surprised at how good I would do on some of these holidays. And, don't take me wrong, guys. I'm not saying I worked on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I'm not saying that. No. That would be stupid. But it's not like I ever used the holiday as an excuse to take time off and not work. The whole thing with the leads and working every week, are really why most independent agents fail in their first year. I mean, there's just nothing more pathetic than when an agent tells me that they're an independent agent and, they say it with pride. And I ask them, how much insurance did you sell last week? How many leads did you work every single week? And they give me like an excuse after an excuse, why they only made one sale, or, they haven't sold anything in weeks, or my favorite, they don't have money for leads, so they can't always buy leads. I mean, come on, man. How are you an independent anything if you can't even support your family? Get a job. Stop pretending that you're something that you're not. Step up and commit. Stop worrying about the nonsense of how you think that you have to be an independent agent because that's what everybody on Facebook is saying and the insurance forums is saying. It's fake news, guys. They're not necessarily talking to you. They're talking to people that are already professional salespeople. If you're not making the kind of money that you need to make as an independent insurance agent, guys, you need to do something else. Stop wasting everybody's time and stop jumping around from one agency to the next as if that's going to be the solution to the problem. If you really want to be a successful independent agent, you've got to start thinking and behaving like a competent business owner. I mean, that's the bottom line. First, learn how to sell. Second, just concentrate on using like 2 or 3 carriers. Third, commit to weekly leads. And fourth, go to work every single day just like it was a normal job where your boss would fire your butt if you didn't show up to work like every single day and every single week, and actually do what you're supposed to do. Rant over. If you'd like a copy of both the agent evaluation page for getting the referrals and or the telesales presentation script, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on working with us through our free leads and appointments platform or our independent agent platform where you can get like 20 to 30 appointments every single day, no questions asked, you just got to pay for it, baby. Just email me at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get out there and get up and just whatever you do, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.